All right, let's do some Mathity-Math. Here we go. So it says on January 1st, 2022, Bulgaria's population will be 6.927 million, okay? In other words, 6,927,000 people, right? That's a prediction because as of me making this video, we're not quite here yet, but we're close, okay? It says Bulgaria's population is currently decreasing by 0.7% each year. And the question is, well, what will Bulgaria's population be in 30 years? Okay, so remember, in this case, we do u sub 0 because nothing's happened at this point, right? And we have to wait a year for that decrease to kind of be implemented for our calculations. But I'll write that down. So this is kind of like the starting line or where the party started. Okay, but now we got to go look right here about what it's decreasing by. So we know all of our terms should be getting smaller and smaller and smaller. That makes sense. But we got to be careful because if we're not careful, they're going to get way too small, way too fast. So step one, we have 0.7%. We need to move that into decimal form, which is the same as saying 0.007, right? That's a simple conversion. We all know how to do that. But we have to be careful. See, if we got a little too overconfident or try to go a little too fast, you might say, hey, I know all about geometric series. I just take this number right here and I multiply it by my common ratio and voila, I have my answer. But I want to show you something. If you jumped in like that and you weren't careful, and you put in those 6,927 people and you just multiply by 0.0007, you will be left with 4,848 people and some change, right? That clearly should be a red flag that this population is decreasing way, way, way too fast. And you would be right. That is way, way, way too fast. Because remember, what we multiply by is what we have left, not by the amount that is decreasing. So to really put that in perspective, if 1 represents the population, if we subtracted 1 from that's 100%, or everybody, the population. If we subtract that, we get 0.993, and this is actually our common ratio. Our common ratio would be 0.993, because by multiplying by this, we're saying we still have 99.3% of our people left, right? If you multiply by this, you're saying I lost 99.3% of my people. We didn't lose 99.3% of our people. We only lost 0.007, right? So this is our common ratio. Another way you can remember it, if you're going down, right? It's you can think of it like I'm going to take 1 minus, right? You take 1 minus what I'm losing. And that will give you what's left. Okay? If you don't like it that way, just do this and you'll see what happens. Do the first calculation and be like, wow, that was way too fast. Okay, so here we go. Back to business. I'm going to take my 6,927,000 people, and I'm going to multiply that by my rate here, 0.993. And there we go. This leaves me with 6,878,500. Okay, and that really should kind of pass the head nod check or like no red flags, because if it's only going down by that much, less than 1%, it should be pretty close, right? If it went down to 4,000 people, pretty dramatic, pretty dramatic. Okay, so now we want to know where we'll be in 30 years. Now, hypothetically, you could do that calculation over and over and over and over again for 30 years, but why when we have this beautiful formula right here? Right here, we can just put in a 30 and go from there. So let me use this formula. U sub n is my first term multiplied by my common ratio raised to the n minus 1 power. Okay, so we're trying to find 30 years. And now we can just start substituting. My first term, I just did that. There's my first term. I'll parenthesize it. Okay. And I know my ratio is right here. And you can see my n value is 30. Well, what's 30 minus 1? 29. And again, now we can just put this in our calculator and get our answer. Let's figure this out. Let's see so we can see it. Okay. So 6, 8, 7. Oh, let's do parentheses. 2, 6, 8, 7, 8, 5, 1, 1, 2, 2. 0.993 raised to the 29th power. That should do it. And there we go. In 30 years, the population of Bulgaria will be, let's see, 5,610,772. We can say 0.28 if we wanted to. Or in reality, we could just stop right there. I'd accept both those answers. They're both great answers. Okay? So there you go. That's what the population of Bulgaria will be in 30 years. Boom, pow. As always, if you have any questions, leave the questions in the comments below so you and your friends can read them and discuss them. Oh yeah, and if you want to get notified if I put any extra stuff up, go ahead and subscribe. You'll get notified. Otherwise, keep an eye on the playlist. As it updates, you'll see new stuff coming your way. As always, keep mathing, keep practicing, and thank you for all your hard work. You guys are great. See you later. Bye.